Just waiting for the light to adjust. Should be right. Hiya, Joe M1DLS, or the YouTube channel Homebrew Ham. I thought it was about time you see my face. I'm from the northeast. You can tell by the accent. Proper Geordie. Well, actually Northumbrian. I'm 15 miles north of Newcastle upon Tyne, in a little town called Ashington. The largest mining village in the world, apparently. That was what claimed fame a few years back, but it's gone all to pot now. But never mind, we'll plod on. I got back into amateur early last year when COVID struck, and 6 months after my stroke, I lost my driving licence through the stroke. I'm slowly working on getting that back. I'm getting motivation back in this hand. My leg strength's back. I'm walking about 2 miles a day just to get by. Anyway, that's not what I put this out. Just want you to see my face, because I'm going to start putting myself into the videos. I'm going to start concentrating on more of the editing than I have like just walking around with a GoPro or the big Nikon camera. I'm going to start making it look a bit more personal. This one, obviously it's going to go on the group, the UK Amateur Radio Group. I'm one of the founders, me and Mick, M1DJW. We started to get rid of the RC hams. I'm not bothered what I say when it's my video. If you don't like it, just scroll away. I can't be bothered with sarcasm, condescending, bullying. It happens to adults as long as people are scared to ask because of people saying, well, you should know. That attitude stinks. It happened to me in 1998 when I got my M1. We weren't allowed on HF without doing the Morse, and we only had 6 meters in VHF and UHF. So I bought a 2 meter multi-board and a 2 meter antenna, and after 1 week on there, I lost all heart and all interest. After being 5 years on 11 meters, my call sign 26 Delta Tango 1056. I loved it, absolutely adored it. Had QSL cards everywhere, had me Foxtrot Tango 747. Nice little radio, cost £400 then, which was a lot of money 25 years ago. It was probably double that now. But yeah, it was a good little radio. Ran it off a Watson power supply in a Silver Road antenna, and I loved it. I was happy with 11 meters. But in 1996, 97, I got the knock from the DEI. The particular chap who knocked on the door was actually very, very, what's the word? He was there because he had to be. I was reported by a local ham for pirating, and he came into the QTH. I had a dummy QTH with a receiver and a CB, and it was an HF receiver. I think it was a realistic D302, the big ones. They look the pop, but they're quite cheap. And I think I had I think it was an audio line CB, and he sort of looked at it as if to say, it's not even the same with coax cable. He knew I had something somewhere else. And what he did was, he says, I'm not going to pursue this. He says, I've seen what I needed to see. He says, but I really recommend that you do your amateur exam. He says, because I've actually listened to you on 11 meters. He says, you don't belong there. You're not. And the same went for my cousin and a friend I had at Cresswell called Nathan. He lives in Thailand now. Anyway, me, Mick and Nathan, it took Mick a bit of a twisty arm thing, but that's another funny story. But I got him there, and the more we did the course, the more interested we got, and we were talking about it. When we got home, we were talking about it on the CB to each other. We become actually really interested, and I think when you do your RAE, in them days anyway, if you've got a study buddy, it definitely helps, because you can ask each other questions. And we also had this little floppy disk which was like a mock exam. It was great. I wish I could find the program, but it was mint. You can do it online now anyway, like mocks. But yeah, we did this. We had it all memorised. We did the thing. I think the tutor was called Stuart Wisher. at Tynemouth Academy or Astley High, can't remember. It's a long time ago. And basically we were the star pupils. The other lads that were there were pretty clueless. I think they were just there for different reasons that me, Mick and Nathan were. But yeah, we had the passion. We knew sort of most everything, but the laws, that type of thing. We used to buy the Radcom. Mick was subscribing to Radcom even when he was a pirate. You know, he was banging to it, and practical wireless. So he knew his stuff. Mick's always good at studying. I've got this habit of when Mick says, "Oh, I think I'll buy one of these," I'll go and buy, because I know that he's done his research. All my life, fishing rods, mountain bikes. he'll agree. But yeah, that's where we came from. We did the course. The course was slightly different to the module we did. We come out of there scratching my head saying there was none of that we researched over the past few weeks on that paper. And as it happened, to change the paper, but it's slightly harder because they knew they were going to abolish Morse. So, but nobody knew, but we passed anyway. We got quite good percentages because it was second nature. It's all we did was talk about radio. We went to the computer fairs together. We talked about the radio rallies together. You know, we're quite clued up. We sort of got there. And anyway, back to 98. Local ham, not mentioning names. He's actually a silent key, and I never disrespect the dead. But he was a bit of a actually book quoter. I mentioned whiskies to somebody, which to me is in the phonetic alphabet, but he says we don't say whiskies. And he actually belittled us over the air on 2 meters on a repeater band, which I just said, nah, no, this is not for me. I want HF. It wasn't there for me. Had to do the most, but I wasn't interested. I just lost all interest, and I turned my hand to computers because computers were coming in. I sold my radio to buy a gaming computer, and I went down that route. Mick did follow us down that route, but he did keep his radio gear. Believe it or not, Mick was hardly ever inactive. He kept it up, and he has me dragging him to the course, and him, what's the word? Him highly solid. He had the beam up, the tilt over mast. He was banging into it, but like I said, it just took a few hams to have a go, and I was done. But anyway, 2004 they abolished the Morse, and I bought a TS 450. Had a look back. Lost my qualification for my RAE, which I've had to sort out. It took us quite a bit of a chow to get reactivated legally with Ofcom, but I'm there now. But yeah, I'm back active. Mick has never been like not active. He's had phases where he like at the minute he's starting his new business, and he's paying his interest into that. It's hard to have a hobby when you're self-employed, especially when you're just starting. I understand that, because as I was going with that, I went to computers. I was a chef, and I turned the computer hobby into my profession. I jacked in the chefing, opened a little shop called Chips Computer Systems, which if you Google it, it's still there in Ashton, and did quite well for about 10 years, but computers were becoming obsolete. The tablets and the smartphones killed it, and to be honest, I did my time. I was tired, working 7 days a week, and anyway, I packed the shop in, become a chef again. The money was great, then I had the stroke, so that's why I'm back in the hobby. I spend 12 hours a day, possibly more, in the shack. I've got an understanding partner. She loves the fact that I'm doing this for you guys. I show her the videos. Some of them go viral. I've got almost nearly 1,000. Not bad considering it's like a 7-month-old channel. But yeah, I'm just going to keep posting videos. Anyway, what I'm going to say is, any newbies, if I haven't bored you already, but any newbies, I'm going to give you my favourite YouTubers in the ham radio scene. first two I've got to mention, who I talk to quite often through inbox and messages, spoken on the QRV, QSOs. First of all, is my good friend Fran. You might have seen him on the call on the in the group. M6YIK. It's mad that because YI is Geordie for YI, OES type thing, and he's a Macam. Sorry, but he's a QRP specialist. He cherishes his M6 and loves working the world on 1 watts to 10 watts, and he does really well. He has very efficient antennas. Bit of a constructor and bit of an inventor. Check his channel out, M6YIK. Another antenna designer, very teacher-like, but he's a good friend. I love him anyway. Tim, G5, Tango Mike. Tim, great guy, very teacher-like, but that's what you need on YouTube. But yeah, me and Tim have had a few QSOs as well, and I love his channel, especially like his doublets and his wire antennas, really good. Another favourite YouTuber is a lad called Matt, M6 Charlie Echo Bravo, which I believe is a 2 Echo 0 now. He loves his hobby. I've seen a few of his videos. The passion that he puts into these videos is great. It was him that actually made me decide to buy the infrared half-wave antenna from UK Antennas. Excellent antenna that. Another YouTuber, Carl, M0SZT. He likes his portable QRO. He likes to take his heavy duty stuff out in his Jeep, and all these channels, I watch them in bed and that, they chill me right to death. I have a lot of time on my hands also, and I try some of the experiments. Tech Minds, one of the bigger channels, a lad called MattMatthew. Now Matthew, he's got one of them professional YouTube channels where you can join, give him a bit of money to help him on his way. But the stuff he reviews is absolutely brilliant. I've bought a lot of his stuff. It's my most expensive YouTube channel. I've bought the SDR switch. That's actually where I found him. I bought the cheap ATUs from China, all working great. He sort of does a review, and I think, well, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. But now he's on a SDR program where the whole kit costs 200 quid, and for the equivalent, I think it's an SDR Sun, it's only about 230 quid all in, and it's basically the same links at the internet antenna. You use it remotely with your PC. Excellent. Hermes Light 2, I believe it is. Another good lad, James, 0GQC, I believe. His channel is Radio Amateur UK, and all one word. He does sort of portable work. He's just bought himself a little minibus van thing, and it's a good little project. He's just fitting an antenna with it, like a DV mount into the cab. He got a bit of stick because he put the washer upside down, but honestly, give James a look. He's really good. He puts a lot of work into his channel. The only thing I find, to me, disappointing is the amount of views he gets for the work he puts in. So give him a look. Give him a look up. Can't mention YouTubers without Callum, the DX Commander, M0MCX. Absolute legend with his antennas. I wish I could fit one in the garden. Yeah, it will fit, but I've got kids and dogs, and them radials are literally snares ready to kill them. So it's a no-no for me. Another YouTuber, Mike, M0MSN. He's actually subscribed to my channel, so thank you for that, Mike, if you ever see this. Another good little tinkerer. Try it. If it works, use it. If it doesn't, fix it. If it doesn't fix, fuck it off. Sorry about that. I should have said beep. Anyway, across the pond, I'll wrap this up. Across the pond, we've got Mike, K8MRD radio stuff. He's my favourite Yank YouTuber. Excellent lad. He actually got finished at work after moving a few hundred miles to Texas. Now he's concentrating on his YouTube channel. and he's trying to make it work. Obviously the lad's lost his job, he's not going to be making that kind of money straight away from YouTube, but he is throwing a lot of stuff in there. Some people say it's too much, but it's not. He's working hard, give him his due. He's great to watch, he's funny when he's doing the porter and with his mates, he's just ripping them. He's speaking of mates, he's got his mate Jason, Kilo Charlie 4 Hotel Whiskey 8. The channel Ham Radio 20. You might see him on YouTube or Facebook. Cracking lad. Him and Meg bitch like two little girls. Brilliant. I would say the most established one of the American ones is Josh. I'll not say his second name, but everyone knows it. He's call signs KI6 November Alpha Zulu, and it's Ham Radio Crash Course. Very established. He's making good money from it now, and he also helps the other lads who are struggling. Give him a look. He actually rates like both the cheaper stuff as well as the expensive stuff. Give him a look. My favourite Yankee YouTuber is Ray, Whiskey 2 Romeo Echo. He likes to run remotely all around the world. You will get to talk to him, I promise. Whiskey 2 Romeo Echo, really good, nice lad. European, there's a few. I'm just going to mention a couple. That's the Radio Prepper. I couldn't find his call sign the day. I've actually got a QSO with him. I think he's a French dude or a Dutch dude, I'm not sure. But he's a bit of a tinkerer and he likes to review QRP. And then there's Paul, OM0ET. He's another good European YouTuber worth looking into. Last one I'll mention is back in America. I call him God. He's got the voice of gold, and it's Jim, Whiskey 6 Lima Golf. Not everyone agrees with Jim, but to me Jim's the boss. What he says goes. Give him a look. He's actually quite good when he's bumpy with someone, especially ARRL. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's basically me and my sort of proper debut for me face. Thanks for watching.